It just eats it. Now, here's a pleasant surprise. I picked up these at a flea market. They're purple. I'm not even sure what you call them, but they're more for taking rust and paint off. But I hooked it up to my grinder here, and with a few swipes, like this is rusty and it's mill scale, and it cleans it beautifully. So, at least something's working good today. This piece that I cut off, which I'm going to try and replicate, the curve anyways, this edge is going to be 4 inches away. So I got to make my little mark in there. So that's, I got to make my curve. It ain't a whole lot, but it still has to be there. I don't know if you remember this setup that I had from the last time. And we do it the same way. We just do a little bit at a time, and hopefully we get it to match. Yeah, I gotta watch that. It is real easy to overbend. A little over. You know how hindsight's a wonderful thing? Yeah, 2020. If I was really smart, what I would have done is put the two together, tacked them on the ends, and then tried to bend them both at the same time. And probably saved myself a whole lot more work instead of trying to match them. Maybe next time I'll remember that. There. Now it's a little easier to see. Leave it there. A little much here. Oh yeah. Thing of beauty. Oh yeah. That's kind of expected. It will move around a little bit. And I've got a gap of about 1/8 of an inch here, so it's got to come down here. We'll just get that a little straighter. Oh, make sure I do it in the right direction. That wouldn't be funny if I put it in, did it backwards. That sucker's almost dead flat compared to the other one. There's no light in between. That's about as perfect as I'm going to get it. Alright, second verse, same as the first. And hopefully we'll get 2 identical pieces. Okay, so after about 20 or 30 minutes of playing with this thing, we now have 2 parts that are virtually identical. And the only problem I think is perfect, well, the perfectionist wants it absolutely perfect, but we got a little bit of a gap of about 15-20 thou there. In all honesty, it's really not going to matter. I do have some tooling marks, but I'm either going to touch them up with weld and grind them off. I'm not sure. I'll probably end up doing that, but that's down the road, and that's not today's problem. Next on the agenda is I'm going to have to make some curves in here. And there's a technique I'm going to use. I actually got this one, stole this one from Make It Custom from Carl. So that is on the agenda next. Well, looky what I found. What this is, I made this up ages ago and forgot about it. It's for my plasma torch, and what it is, it's for a circle cutter. Made it out of some threaded rod, nut welded onto another screw. So the idea is you drill a hole in it. These sit in here kind of loose because you got to be able to move it. And you can follow the torch around, spin it, and cut a radius. Now, I believe Carl mentioned something about making cold circles. Well, that's not going to work with this one because I need like a 6-inch radius, 12-inch diameter. And I can't get 12 inches out of this piece. So, we're going to do quadrants. And I think I can get more material out of the chunk if I do it this way. So my plan is, I'll cut a piece, you know, somewhere around in here. Actually, probably this one here first. Right? But the funny thing is, this is not a true 90. I actually have to go a little overbend, which means it's going to be like 95 degrees. So, yeah, 4 90s in a circle, and I need 95. So, obviously, I'm going to have to do it this quadrant method. So, just got to figure out where I'm going to stick my hole, figure out my radii, and start plasma cutting. A little lesson for me, and maybe another excuse. But if I wasn't playing around with the camera, I probably would have noticed this. Kind of stupid on my part first. But if I could do it this way, set them up for here, and cut this radius, cut the next radius. Drill the next hole over. Cut a bunch of them that way. Length I don't care about because I got to be trimming them anyways. So, yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but at least I got the hindsight before I started cutting. Alright, it's going to get a little noisy in here. There we go. check and see if we actually did this right is we scribe a line, measure it out, scribe a line, and see how well this actually scribe two lines, one here and one for the inner radius. Let me check and see how close we got. Now the outside, you won't need to see this, but it's pretty much within like 64th of an inch, real close. This one's another matter. We're out like anywhere from 3/32, 16th of an inch. A lot more material has to come out of there. That is one heck of a lot of grinding, and I'm not feeling in the mood to do that. So I think I got another little plan that might make this a little bit easier. Alrighty, so to make my life a little bit easier, we set these plates up on the mill, and we're using a 2-inch cutter, and what we're going to do is we're going to nibble out along the line and take out most of the material that way. Yeah, a CNC machine program would make it a whole lot easier, but I run CNC for a living, and that's work, not fun. This is fun. I don't mind this. So we're just going to nibble away and take out most of the material. The idea here is, if I can set it, getting close, just touch it. Because if I touch it, lock it, I can kind of move it. See where I'm scraping? I scrape up until I hit the line, lock things up, and do plunge cuts. Stop set before I hit the table. So I can move up a little bit, move over a little bit. I got them just snug right now. A little more. And just whittle away. Reality is, I'm not getting loaded. There. Not bad. I even think I'll have to touch it. Bit of scalloping, but hey, welder will hide that. I stuck on some layout lines on this little contraption, and I mentioned before I was going 95 degrees. Well, I went 97. That gives me an extra 1/8 of an inch. A lot easier to cut it off than it is to weld it on. So I'm going to kind of lay this out over here. Cut a bit off there. Line it to my outside, and you can probably see I just could not leave the lumpies. So I did some grinding to cut it off. So now, get myself a line here. And get a line here. And we'll zip cut these off. And I got 4 plates. Okay, got plates all cut up. I marked from that corner up here 42 inches. So what we got to do is the not fun job. I got to slice this out and slice straight along here, right along here, because there, this is where this is going to fit. I want to utilize these and then weld in on here. All right, there's your spoiler alert. But this time, I'm not going to make you watch the grinding because it is tedious. I get a little bit tired of doing all this grinding, but that's part of the job, I guess. Anyways, we'll show it to you when that's done. Let me share a little bit of this nasty tedium I've been dealing with. Cutting through here and then grinding it so it's nice and smooth inside. Yeah, it's not fun, but it needs to be done. But the nice thing is, once I got it smooth on one side, I can actually, when I grind through here, use it as a guide for grinding most of the inside. So this is around the same size, a little bit of gap. I might do a little bit more weld prep on here so I get good penetration. We'll see. All right, now that that nasty part's done, smooth on the inside. More, basically I just wanted to make sure there's no lumps on here throwing me off. So this little plate's going to sit in here. I'm going to clamp down. I'm going to get this clamped down. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend this around because it's, as you can see, quite flexible. I moved this in already just to get it out of my way. So I'm going to do the outside. Tack, go and bend, tack, bend, tack, bend, tack, all the way around. Same thing on the inside. Once I got that set up, I'll probably have to full weld the outside of it, get rid of all the gaps. But then I'm also going to put one of these in here too. So once I put a tack up on here, once this is in place, tap her into place if we have to. Put a spacer in here if need be, and fit up the outside. Anyways, that's the plan. All good. Okay. All right, it's fitted. Still got to finish weld the thing. No, guys, that's not going to be a whole lot of fun to watch, so I'll do that off camera. And we'll see how much penetrate. Well, I'm going to crank up the welder. If I blow holes in it, then I know I got too much heat, and that's good. I'm getting good penetration. Back it off a bit. Yeah, the material is like 100 thou, so it doesn't need a weld prep. I think it's at the borderline where it doesn't really need it. So we'll finish welding it, and we'll do the other side then. Well, you can see all welded up on this side now, and I ground off this. Got all the mill scale off with my one-eyed purple mill scale eater. So still got to finish grind. Still got to do the other side. Well, we got a fair bit done. Still a ton more to do. Anyways, for those of you who have stuck around to the end, I want to thank you for watching and for subscribing. It does help the channel a lot. Anyways, we'll see you later, and bye for now.